Hello and welcome to my latest video. Today I've got a tutorial using, I think, the best palette out there at the moment. Like, I've not seen anyone really talk about it on YouTube and I don't know why, and I feel like there's a secret crazy thing about it that I don't know, but the palette that I'm talking about, if you haven't guessed from the title, is Maybelline the Nudes palette. This came out in America first. I'm not sure how long it's been around in Britain, but I actually picked it up at Superdrug a couple of weeks ago because they have a 2 for £10 on at the moment at Maybelline. This isn't sponsored at all in any way, it's just a good deal. They have a 2 for £10 at Maybelline at the moment. This is £9.99 on its own and it's in the 2 for £10 deal, so you could like get two or get this plus something for a penny. Like, it's ridiculous. So I picked it up and gave it a go, and I'm so impressed with it. The formulation of the actual eyeshadows is insane, and the thing that I really like about this palette, which I think is why it's so good for beginners or for people who, you know, you don't want to think about it. Like, sometimes I want to wear eyeshadow and I don't want to think about what I'm putting on my eyes, is that they actually are set in trios, quads and duos. So if you can see the palette, there are 12 there are 12 eyeshadows, 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom, and then they are segmented into 3 lots of 4 lots of 3 and 6 lots of 2. So you can create so many different looks, and if you see on the back, they are all split up into 1, 2, 3, like the numbers are there so that you know where to put it, and it tells you number 1 put all over your eyelid, number 2 put in the crease, and it's just, I just think it's really good and so clever. Because something I find really difficult with palettes is that you have like an array of colours and it's quite, if you don't have that sort of eye to know what colours to put together, it's quite overwhelming. Whilst this, you get the selection of the 12 shades, but you get the help of them sorting them out into different looks. Just love it. It's like my fave. So I'm actually going to be using the first 4 quad today. So if you want to see how I created this look using this insanely amazing palette, then carry on watching. So first off, I took the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Pro primer, which I think is really good. It helps to prolong my makeup, but also smooths my skin. Because sometimes I get like a weird wrinkle on my nose and I don't know why, but this gets rid of it. So used a bit of that. I then used the 123 Perfect Bourjois CC cream because I didn't want something that was crazy high coverage, and I blended that in using my Real Techniques buffing brush, which is like my new fave brush. Love it. I then used a Maybelline Fit Me concealer. There's quite a lot of Maybelline in it. Maybelline Fit Me concealer. So I used this because it's completely the wrong shade for me. It's too orange, so it really helps to cancel out my dark circles. So I used this one first. And I just blended that in using the Miracle Complexion Sponge. And then I used my trusty Urban Decay Naked Skin concealer, and I blended that in with the Real Techniques setting brush. This concealer is like my life at the moment. It's so good. I genuinely, it's one of the, I don't have many products that if I don't use I miss, because I use so many different things. But this, if I don't use it, I really miss it. So that's pretty exciting. I like to let my foundation sink in, so I did my eyebrows and I used a little brush just to brush the hairs into the right place, and then I used the Maybelline Brow Satin, which is looking very worse for wear, to draw in, and then use the powder on the other end just to set those a little bit. As you can see, it's quite a bold brow, but I quite like it, and when I actually have a full face of makeup on, it looks fine. It looks crazy on its own. And then finally I used the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper, which genuinely is like glue for my eyebrows. They just do not move if I use that. So, liking that. I then went back to set my makeup and I used the Illamasqua powder blusher in Intrigue. I thought it was Intrigue, but it looks like a Q. Let's go with Intrigue. Which is just a white blusher, and it just helps that area of my face look lighter. And I used the Maybelline Matte Maker. Maybelline Matte Maker mattifying powder just to set all that into place, which is actually broken. My actual thing, like, it's all fallen out, but which is a bit rubbish, but I'm just going to super glue it back in because it's really good. And then it was eyeshadow time, so I used the first 4 eyeshadows from the quad, so I guess from the set, so I guess quad 1, let's say, and I actually just used 3 of the colours out of the 4. I used the lightest shade all over my lid, and then I used the shade next to it, which is actually the one that they say to use in the crease of my eye, like just to really contour my eye, basically, I guess is what people would say. And then I use the darkest colour in the quad just to darken up the corner of my eye. And that's basically all I did. I didn't use the third shade, but it's actually really pretty. Like a shimmery shade, but because the first shade's quite shimmery, I just thought I'd leave it like that. But I think that this is a nice daytimey look. I used that, and as you can see, it blends really easily. It just... Can you tell I like this palette? And then I used the gel eye pencil from Essence in Cocoa Bean, which is just a brown eyeliner, just to line the top of my eyelid and also the waterline. And then I took the darkest colour from the Maybelline palette, again from that little quad that I used, and just a pencil brush, and just blended that out slightly just to make it a little bit softer. I'm not for some reason I'm sort of going off liquid eyeliner, which is concerning because I love it normally. So I'm just trying to do this a little bit more, and I think it just makes the eye a bit softer and a bit more daytimey. Gone into a weird accent there, Anna. For the mascara, just don't know what that was. For mascara, I used the Bourjois Volume 1 Second Mascara, which I got in a haul. Did I put it in a haul? Bought it recently anyway. I put it in some video, and I really like this. The brush is a bit weird, not for everyone, but I like it, basically. Does the job. So just put that on. And then for blusher, now I don't usually use cream products, but I got this in a haul quite a long time ago. I think it was my first haul. I've done two. It was my first haul, and it's from Revolution, and it is their, what's it called? The One Blush Stick, and it is in the shade. Doesn't say. It's this pinky colour. That's all I can tell you. But I just put that onto a Real Technique stippling brush and just dotted it on my cheeks. I used it yesterday as well, and it was really quite over the top, but I think that's because I just went, don't do that. If you get a stippling brush and just take a little bit on the brush and then blend it out, it just gives a little bit of colour. I used a teeny tiny little bit of bronzer. I used the Solar Powder from Soap and Glory just to sort of contour a little bit, but not really. I'm just pretending that I'm doing it now. I'm really enjoying doing this at the moment. I'm not into like contouring every day at the moment, I don't know why, just not. But I think that using a bronzer to do it, it really warms your face up, especially because I'm like a pale ghost, so need to warm that up. For highlighter, I used my MUA Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlighter, which is actually really pretty. It's, yeah, you can see it just now. It's not too pinky, but I think it's quite pretty and it's not too in your face. And finally, for lip option, I used the MAC Whirl Lip Liner, the crazy one that everyone's talking about. And then over the top, I used the Collection lipstick in Tulip, which is from like their new range of field day things. If you saw my glossy box unboxing, I will leave it linked somewhere. I actually got this in a glossy box, and I really like this combination together. I'm not a massive fan of pale coloured lipsticks, I just think they wash me out. But paired with the Whirl Lip Liner, it's just really nice. And actually the lipstick's really creamy and lasts all day, so liking that. And that was really it for what I did with my makeup. I really like this palette. I think it's so good. I think it's so clever how they all work together. The pigmentation is great, and for £9.99, when like naked Urban Decay palettes are what, £40 basically, I just think it's great. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you have, don't forget to subscribe and give this a thumbs up, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye! Hello and welcome to my first ever vlog. I'm just about to go and vote, so I just thought I'd check in. This is the first time I've ever voted, so it's pretty exciting. Although I've made my mum come